Yeah, you've never seen it. You even look paler. Like you're Muindi, but you're light Muindi today.
It's a better looking version of Eric Mutiso, ladies and gentlemen. Kevo, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me back. Though this setup isn't as cool as the last one.
The car's different. We've been trying to do the car episodes, but the problem is the rain, Bana. Because you've seen where we work at the camera.
Yeah.
And then Nairobi has also been unpredictable in terms of weather. So it starts raining. We've had to cancel 3 shoots. So I was like, you know what? Rainy season, Jan, Feb, there's no. So we'll resume everything then.
Okay.
So
you won't pick me up. You'll pick me up in like a Porsche next time.
So these guys have got Kyra Platinums, are the guys that sponsored us, bro. They're giving nice cars. Nataka kukuja na G-Wagon, alafu tuende Muthaiga.
Okay.
That would be nice. And I've seen your phone now. You have to answer me this. Why aren't you using an iPhone?
Well, the reason I don't use iPhones is I'm not part of cults. I don't like being part of cults. Because it's not a very good phone. I mean,
you know, I'm leaning towards what Kevo is saying, because the other day this Xiaomi 17 Pro Max or something like this, Xiaomi Pro Max. Have you seen that phone? Yeah. We can put it up over here. It's the newest one. And they were doing a side-by-side comparison. And these are all these global YouTubers with huge audiences. And they said this is like the iPhone 17, but better. And then I was looking at the S25 Ultra. One of my colleagues who works in Sweden or Switzerland or somewhere, he recently came down and he was just showing me pictures of the data centers and a trip he did. And I'm like, which phone is this? It's like Samsung S25 Ultra. And I'm like, why am I sticking to iPhone? You know, it's
Steve Jobs died, guys.
Yeah,
when Steve Jobs died, the
innovation changed.
Not innovation. The thing that sold you Apple went. Right? So it's not. It'll never be the same again.
Have you seen one of his old presentations?
I watch Steve Jobs probably once a week just for inspiration.
Bro, I was rewatching when they announced the iPod Shuffle, when they announced the iPod, when they announced the iPhone. The guy was just a poet, man. And at that time, have you noticed, there was always innovation. They were always doing something new.
Yeah.
Like when the iPod came out, then the iPod Shuffle was something new. And then the iPod Mini.
I used to have an iPod Shuffle. I probably had one of the first iPhones.
And remember the feeling whenever you twisted the things. Yeah. I don't think Apple has really innovated to that extent till recently.
I think Apple is still a very innovative company. I just don't think it's a cult. It deserves to be a cult brand anymore. It isn't giving you exclusivity. It doesn't give you, it doesn't give you cool factor. What does it give you? It's every product now is reliable. Every product now works very well.
You know the thing is, in Kenya, look.
Depends on what you want to use, how you want to use the product.
So for editors, let me ask you. For editors, you're in MacBook. Do you find it beneficial having an iPhone versus an Android?
I would like to have a MacBook while editing because the new chips are so fast and so integrated very well.
Yeah.
You can do multiple stuff. Now when you have and power efficiency too is good. Now when you have a powered PC, oh my God, your power will go. And also when you have the faster laptop of the Windows, you need power. You need to be plugged in so that you can get the full power of this thing.
Okay, so you asked me why I don't have an Apple is because I'm not part of a cult. It doesn't give me anything extra. Now let's go to work, right? So work is different. The reason I have an iPhone, I use Android, is because I have 300,000 customers who use Android.
Correct.
Right? So for me also, I want to test everything on my phone. I want to use all the local apps, M-Pesa, whatnot, in a way my customer uses so that I have that. Even the betting apps, by the way. So when it comes to work, that's a different reason, yeah? By the way, I also hate Microsoft. And this is somebody who's moved from, so as our business has grown, Microsoft is just the cheaper, more alternative and better in terms of even people who run systems on Microsoft are just more. So it's
Quite convenient.
Yeah, it's quite convenient. But man, like their Outlook compared to Gmail, I mean, it's horrible.
Do you use the Outlook app?
I use the Outlook app now. I use the calendar app. The calendar app is probably the worst feature on Outlook. And I'm hoping Microsoft is listening.
Of course, we're 20,000 subscribers right now.
It's actually shockingly bad. It's shockingly bad. Try search. Like Google got me so spoiled. Once I put stuff like on Google Drive in an organized way, and then my emails, you sort of arrange them in the you classify them so that as soon as the inbox searching is like
Easier.
not easier. I can find an email I was looking for in 2022.
Okay.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
On Microsoft, on Outlook.
It's difficult.
Oh my God. Do they even remember 2022? I mean, it's painful.
One thing about Gmail I've noticed is if you have the free account, which most people do, they send you advertisers and promotion posts. You can't opt out of that. Have you noticed that? So you normally have the
I
primary
pay for
inbox.
everything on Google.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, so for corporate, I guess maybe it's different. But coffeepumpodcast@gmail.com, right? Basically, half my requests are sponsored ads that come.
Probably.
So that's a bit of crux
But
for
I
me.
think I've accepted that we must live in that world now.
Where advertising is everywhere.
Yeah, because I mean, how else then do you generate revenue in markets like ours? You were talking about advertising. We're talking about advertising and the challenges we face in this part of the world. We are a low GDP country.
Bro, I'm getting hit on YouTube with it, man. Like the amount I'm spending
vis-a-vis
the returns. So I had, I'll give you an example. This past month, we've had Chucksy, Saddam. We did the trio with Farid and Eric. We had Kisiangani. We had Kibe and DNA. So solid content, The Kibe DNA one, I think, was probably the heaviest episode. But all that cumulatively, I made $353. So the $353, Kim's rent, every time he loses equipment. This kijana wa iPhone, the kids that sell their kidneys to get an iPhone.
No, cult. It's cult. It's
so
cult.
We have to pay for that. So,
and when you ask, cult followers don't know why they follow something.
By the way.
Yeah. They got a hard on for it a long time ago, and why are you even talking? Yeah, so
what I'll say is MacBook for work for me. Because I have an iPhone, it integrates quite well. But then I'm genuinely looking to move away from that. But anyway, back to the advertisers. Do you think we'll ever get to a place where how every other American company is advertising online? Do you think Kenya will ever get there?
We're already there.
No, but who's advertising, Kevo? Like, I'll give YouTube as an example. We have Safaricom, we have Airtel, we probably have EABL, and a few other brands. In States, you and I open a coffee shop, we'll do YouTube advertising in a certain area. It's not to that level, and that's why I get paid less. The cost per views is much less than what we have over here. And a great example is our mutual, your brother, my friend, Eric. Eric had big homie Sisi on, who had an 85% to 90% US viewership, right? So that one of his earlier videos made maybe 150,000, 200,000 views. On a similar video in Kenya, I made $200. He made close to 2,000 euros, 10 times more.
Yeah. That's called GDP per capita.
Yeah.
What happens is America's GDP per capita is $80,000.
So will we ever get
there? In
there?
Kenya, it's 2,200.
Yeah.
So spending power is less.
Yeah.
So, it's what I keep telling everyone. Until we solve getting everyone rich rather than just a few people rich.
Yeah.
It keeps all of us down. It's called short-termism.
Short-termism. I like that. We're going to cap that. Short-termism.
Yeah.
Kim,
Yeah.
you see, you're selling your kidney for an iPhone.
No, that's cult. That's different.
That was actually something that happened, right?
Yeah,
A Kenyan kid.
it happened. Not that happened. It happened.
No, I saw on X recently some kid literally sold his kidney
For the 17.
for the 17 Pro Max or
In
something.
Kenya.
In Kenya, bro.
And he took the photo in the bandage.
Short-termism. Do you think
No,
that's real?
that's cult. No, that's different. So short-termism is poor decisions that affect the whole.
Yeah.
So I focus on me and negatively affect the whole, and at the end of the day, I too am affected negatively. This is
Okay.
there's a part of my brain that has stopped functioning because I now have this irrational
Thought to go.
irrational desire.
Yeah.
And this is why you can't argue with if a Christian, a Jew, and a Muslim sit and then they start arguing about who's the real religion. You're never gonna have a winner because they're going to kill each other just because they're like, what are you saying,
Fanatics.
my guy? Yeah.
Fanatics.
No, it's just it's actually this is, and that's why I tell people, read a book, watch a documentary from a credible person.
Yeah.
It's a part of the brain here that deals with, it's either here or here at the back. Fact check me. But it deals with belief system, and it's a very important part of the human animal and human being for survival. Right? We must believe in something. So in today's world, consumerism, brands like Apple, brands like Nike, brands like Michael Jordan, like me, you cannot tell me somebody's better than Michael Jordan. I even think you're crazy. Like, we can fight. You start, these guys will tell me LeBron. I say, what are you saying? Right? Those types of brands have that they
embedded.
They
deep in your
figured a
soul.
way to get into that same place religion gets into.
Did you ever collect the Air Jordans?
I've never been rich enough to do that. And weirdly, my son probably has some of the coolest Jordans ever.
You know what shocked me? The price of these shoes.
30,000.
Dude, I was just looking for random white sneakers. So I walk into a sneaker shop thinking, max $50. Okay, let's say even $100. So I picked out some things that looked cool and it had Air Jordan. Yeah, it's letting me $2,000. Like, get the fuck out of here. He's like, yeah, that's the cheapest one we have over here. It's a special edition. And there's stuff that goes to like $20,000, $30,000.
Yeah. So my goal in life actually is to wear Brioni suits.
Brioni suits. Tell me, that sounds very nice.
So the reason I've never really bought Jordans is because
Kim Brioni suits, we put them up here.
In fact, I'll tell you a couple of more brands. The only reason I've never dressed the way in my head I think I should dress is because I've always had to look after my family. Right? Because if I was truly able to, I think my wardrobe would be 30,000, 40,000. Like, I'd be wearing $40,000 just today.
But now your kid needs Air Jordans.
Now they have school fees. They need their own Air Jordans. I'm still building my businesses.
Do you think we should do that before we get money? Yes, I want.
Do what?
Get those things, do those things.
No. You must look. It's about this is everyone. That one I'm not going to say do this or do that because it's your own personal journey, right? You must always dress good as a man. You must always smell good. You must always do your nails. I mean, these people who don't do their nails, you do your toenails, do pedicures, do manicures.
Matako yako unasafisha how many times a week? Once, ndio?
A real man is groomed, right? Yes. Don't ever that crap of you don't oil your legs. Yeah. Me, I can tell you the lotions from where and where.
I want to live here a little. This is a different part of Kevo we've got.
Yeah. But in fact, I'll tell you a story. No, sorry. I get flown into Dubai by a customer. So one of my clients, so I consult international clients want to get into Kenya. They don't want to come to Kenya to meet me. They fly me to Dubai. We get to Dubai. They want to take me out on the town. You know, Dubai has all the
Yeah.
wildlife. It's
The
like
glitz and
the
glam,
glitz and the glamour, the bars, the girls, and the whatnot. If you truly know me, that's not the lifestyle I like.
Yeah.
Like me, I like a good sauna, right? I like a good massage.
Yes.
And so I go straight to in Dubai Mall. They've got the largest body shop I've ever seen in my life. So Body Shop is a brand. You can put it on
The
the
one
screen.
with the oils and stuff. Yeah.
Man. I think I spent like 4 hours in there. I was like, let me smell this one. So one of
Like
the
shea. Okay, yeah, they've got
shea
oil
butter.
bot-
Yeah. Today I use raw shea butter from Uganda. It's brought to my
What
house.
were you going to work
delivered
on a shea butter?
from Uganda, brought to my house, right, in the raw form. And then now we split it up and put it into containers, that one for my gym bag, one for the house, one for
Sajid.
yeah. So just to get to the point, so they start looking for me because I've landed, we've had the meetings, blah blah blah. They want to take me out on this big night out. Where's Kevin?
Dubai Mall.
Dubai Mall, Body Shop, picking up like $200 body oil. And I feel zero.
By the I tried the Body Shop one because man, those guys used to work at Nivea before, right? And I was introduced to this where there's certain different scents that affect your mental well-being. And Faris Koryuki, who you guys have seen, he's a big guy. He's big into
He's
this
a
oil.
good friend of mine.
Exactly. And Faris is big into this. It's same WhatsApp group. It's all you guys. So he's like, why don't you try? What's a scent that you like? So I've always liked ginger scents. So something like ginger, vanilla, citrusy, I bought. And ukiamka asubuhi after you've taken a shower and you're applying that thing, it changes your persona.
Yeah.
The smell. Like
First, your skin is soft.
Yeah, Kim. So from Vaseline to that, it's a big jump. Now we're leaving here a bit.
No, I want to say one last thing.
Tell me.
By the way, Vaseline is horrible for you.
Don't use.
Horrible. You know, your skin is an organ. You've got to feed it with nutrients, right? So the first nutrient is the morning sun, vitamin D, right? The second nutrient is now all the other things that, you know, elasticity, anti-inflammatory nutrients. You want to make sure that your skin can breathe, because it's a hot country. You want to make sure that when you sweat, you know, the sweat is, you know, flowing. It's not being obstructed. So your skin is an organ just like any other. So Vaseline is a petroleum product. Right, so never forget that.
Okay.
Final thing about this thing for oil,
Yeah.
If you're a single man, right? If you're a single man, I bet, right, the thing that will get you the most ladies, and I'm being very politically correct right now, is if you are well-groomed, smell good, right, and have smooth skin. Right? If you are pumped and you don't, your skin is cracking, and you stink, you might be good to look at.
It's a turn off.
But they're not gonna touch you.
That's a very good point. Men's grooming.
Msiseme sikuambia. Msiseme.
Forget this industry. Kevin, we open shea butter, oils, perfumes. I want to talk about the suit, but before we get to that, this is something that just came to the front of my mind. Someone was telling me, I'm not sure if it was Mzee, but apparently there's this product that's become very popular for skin use. Initially, the use of which was beneficial to cows' udders. So when farmers were applying it to the cows'
petroleum
udders,
jelly.
it's petroleum jelly.
Yeah, I forget the name. Huh? The guy lives in Runda. We passed his house the other day. It's a great business. Talk to a dermatologist. Horrible for your skin. Horrible. Petroleum jelly.
Not
Boss.
good. It's got petroleum jelly, even in the name, it sounds. And Kevo, what was the suit you were saying?
Brioni
suits. Yeah. Those are Italian.
Oh, let me tell you something now. After you groom, now you need fabric that lets you breathe. Your balls need to hang.
It's called a ring.
Yes,
Aramis.
Yeah.
Put that product up.
Yeah.
So
Your balls need to hang. You need to sweat and start and feel comfortable. You need to, if you're chubby like me, you need to be able to still feel comfortable and not feel tight, but it fits,
Yes.
It doesn't flow like a dress, So there are a couple of suit makers out there. I think my favorite is Oswald Boateng, Savile Row, London. If you're ever in London, and you can buy an off-the-rack suit for £5,000,
Bro.
that's where you start. But he's not a starter tailor. There's some few starter tailors on the Row. That's
So
what
Savile Row in UK is where all these high-end
High-end
luxury tailors are based, yeah?
yeah,
Savile Row.
Savile Row. And then so you start by picking out a fabric, right? And so you explain to the different fabrics, different patterns. That's when you get the cool patterns. So if you're like really keen, King Charles.
Yeah.
King Charles has a very specific double-breasted suit he wears, right? It's
I've
not
heard
the
about this, yeah.
same suit, but it's the same cut.
And from a particular
tailor. Man. Oh, man. Whether you like to admit it or not, the guy just oozes,
So do you have a suit you got from there?
Not yet. I have bespoke suits,
Yes.
but I don't have.
Well, that's the goal, yeah? That's the
I
goal.
told you, once my family's settled, like I can. Hey, I don't know if you ever hung out with the Kalenjin elders.
No.
No, Kalenjin elders. There's one in particular, Nonganga hivi.
So Savile Row suits, I've heard quite a bit about them. In fact, when you go and get your suit made, yani it's a whole process.
Yeah.
They sit with you, they understand who you are as a person, what the purpose of the suit is. It's not like the Woolworths off the rack suits.
Actually, all my clothes now are bespoke.
Really?
Yeah. That's the graduation I made in life, actually, about 2 years
So
ago.
all this is tailor made.
Everything is tailored.
You have a tailor?
I have tailors.
So you hook me up with one.
I can. So the guy who makes suits, in fact, I'd love to just shout him out, Sal Sartorial. Sal is
South Sartorial.
brilliant beyond
put him
measure. I love him. He's one of those few tailors. You book a calendar appointment, you get to the shop. It's a nice shop. It's
Yeah.
wooded paneled.
Yeah.
Smells good. He puts, and he's prepared for you because he knows now your style.
Yeah.
So he'll put for you the different fabrics. Like I only wear blue, black, gray, right? Because of
Is
my
there a reason for that?
decision. I don't want to make too many decisions
Okay.
when I'm working. So like today, I knew every day this week I've worn a blue trouser of different shade, right?
Yeah.
Because my blue is kind of my favorite thing, and then I'll wear now a different top depending on now. If I'm going to a government office, I wear a tie. If I'm going to speak in public or do a podcast, I try and wear the African look. The problem with the African look is once you wear it once, twice, thrice, it looks like you're wearing the same thing.
Yeah.
So you've got to, and it's not cheap to get a good African tailor.
So he does African.
He also
wears.
does pretty nice African stuff. And then I've got another stylist who's come into my life, Katungulu Mwendwa, Katush. So Katush is actually redoing my whole look.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll be wearing a different type of African shirt moving forward.
So Katush, that's okay. I don't want to mispronounce the gender. He, she. She, a stylist.
She's a fashion designer / stylist, right?
So you hire her to come and redo your wardrobe design, basically.
To redo your look.
Okay.
Right? Remember, we are all presenting to the world in a way, right? So if you remember my mission is to build Africa to be the most modern place on earth by 2050.
Yeah.
There's a way I must look to achieve that objective, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm going through different phases. So we've just completed phase 1. So now phase 2 is we've built a good foundation. We've got good businesses now that people are not questioning, is this guy serious? No, there's a real path to the $1 billion on multiple fronts. So now what's that next
frontier?
So in fact, since I announced things on your show all the time.
Was it?
The team that I work with, we're doing a 12-city masterclass series
Okay.
starting Jan 2026. And we're doing Josie, Cape Town, Durban, Windhoek, Gaborone, Nairobi, Kigali, Kampala, Dar, Lagos, Accra, and Addis Ababa.
So this specifically in each country, what are you going to talk about?
So how to build billion-dollar businesses in
Really
Africa.
nice.
And then we've been practicing a course, like a 1 hour, 30-minute sort of masterclass series.
Yeah.
The feedback has been fantastic.
I've seen you. I think you've posted on social media as well.
I mean, I'm posting just to
Yeah.
see the feedback.
Yeah.
But the feedback for the sessions we've done, the audience is entrepreneurs who want to build big things, but entrepreneurs in general.
Yeah.
Particularly in the Gen Z ecosystem. The older guys will know the stuff I'm talking about. The younger guys probably have never had it distilled in the way I do it. And so now that's a new phase, right? Because now I'm going to be a bit more public facing, blah, blah, blah. And then we are talking to now a different audience that's looking at everything, right?
Correct. Yeah, because now you're sort of a billboard.
Yeah.
And you're in front of an audience. And so the way you speak is important, yes, but the way you look amplifies what you say.
Yeah. So
clothing.
Katusha's come to help me do that as well.
So, okay, watch I cut wait, and then I'll tell you.
I'm doing that as well. So part of the phase 2 is I must then also be a better health advocate. Therefore, because I am obese, right, I need to demonstrate that I have actively acknowledged I am unhealthy and therefore making sustainable. So the word is sustainable steps and changes to my lifestyle.
You know, that the fact that you're saying sustainable, now if I present it in my own life, I think the reason I kept failing to start off on the fitness journey was overwhelming myself on the day one, right? And for example, you've not been gymming, you've not been doing any physical activity, you've not dieted. So what do you do on Monday, right? You'll say, that week I'll go 7 times to the gym. I'll do weights, I'll do cardio. I'll diet, I'll do everything extreme. And so I had a version of that, which was not that extreme, but it was still, I have to measure macros, I have to do this, I have to do that, which was so much of a process that when you start, you're like so overwhelmed. Now, the current coach I'm working with, he said, let's dial it back, okay? Inch by inch, right? We start making gradual changes. This is what you need to do. In fact, the workout week that I had, I only worked out thrice. 3 workouts, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And on Tuesday and Thursday, small cardio session, not intense, keeping my heartbeat between 115 and this. And then from a diet perspective, this is a basic template, follow it. Once you achieve, so the 5 main goals for me are to work out when I need to work out, to get 6 hours plus sleep, because my sleep is really messed up. And sleep, if you're fucking that up, that messes a whole heap of issues. Like maybe that's the pale skin and everything, you know. Third is some breathing techniques that help you recenter. So the way this particular one goes, and it really helps me de-stress. So you're taking a deep breath, and then another one, hold it in, and let it out. Do that 10 times, bro. It's like a brain reset.
Yeah.
So that was the other important thing. And there are a couple of other items, but just very basic right now.
Yeah.
And then when you achieve step 1, higher, let's make it a bit more complicated. A bit more complicated.
Yeah.
And it works for professionals such as us who have a balancing act in life.
Yes.
Now, the thing is, for you, it's even more so because you have a family, you have kids, you've got Oye, you've got these public appearances, you've got these side businesses, you've got this, and now you've got fitness on top of it.
By the way, I don't have any side businesses.
No, like when I mean,
That's
not like Clandays. No,
No, what I mean is there's no business I treat like a side.
Sure. Okay.
I just wanted to point that out.
That's a good way to look at it.
It didn't offend me.
Everything is main. Everything is a main focus.
Everything has the right time and allocation of resources it requires to succeed.
Learning something new from my elder brother here.
Yeah. This thing called side means it's plan B, plan C. No, mine is plan A. Kila kitu.
Everything is main.
Priority,
correct. So I'm very proud of you for starting that journey. I think that will definitely change your personality, your energy, your billboard, right? People will be like, this guy talks the talk and walks the walk. So I'm excited for that, bro. But
whether that's a real challenge I have, because it is not easy. Because I have publicly stated my mission in life, I have essentially made everyone accountable
towards you.
Yeah. So I can't do certain things without knowing there will be consequences to how my walk the talk is being perceived. Because I have to walk the talk.
Yes.
Right? And this is not just for me. It's for my son. It's for my daughters. It's for my nieces. It's for my cousins. It's for my friends. It's for my people who have been inspired by my story. You know, when I told you Michael Jordan would talk about the reason he'd play the game is because fans paid for the ticket. The guys who bought into my mission and vision, and
they're there to see me.
They're not just holding me accountable; they're even opening doors, right? They're making life easier. So they're buying my products. They're supporting the cause. They're whatever in very various ways and shapes and forms. So I must be. I've made a commitment, and I must keep to that commitment. And it's not easy. I'm just putting it out there. It's not easy.
It's one of the hardest things you'll ever do, bro.
I don't even know why I started it.
Have you started changing your diet?
Yes, yeah. And failed multiple times.
Diet is hard, eh?
Diet is so hard. In fact, when you like cheese and nyama, there's this thing I like called nundu. Do you guys know nundu?
Yeah, nundu. It's the fat,
the hump of a cow.
Yeah.
I have a supplier who brings me nundu.
It's tamu, eh?
Let me tell you. But now I have to eat it moderate.
Yeah, man. And working out now, what are you doing?
I swim. So I've been swimming 50 laps.
Swimming is fantastic. Plus, you've got a swimming pool
at home.
Yeah. So that's very convenient.
Yeah. I've been swimming once a week since January.
Okay. Bro, I went in the pool recently. Wow.
Swimming is hard.
It's so hard. You know, you think you can, have you watched those movies like where a shark is attacking? Like nikiingia maji, I'll swim faster. Bro, that thing will cool. Swimming is so difficult. Yeah. And the thing is, you're doing breaststroke. So then you sort of go down, you put your head up to take a breath, but then you don't want to go back because you can't hold your breath longer. So you go on. You go a couple of times.
So my brothers and I were very good swimmers, huh?
Eric apparently in Consolata won a swimming competition or something.
Many times. So did I. So did my younger brother. So for us, swimming is in fact like me have a rhythm, right? So when I start my laps, there's a way I am. There's a rhythm. So by the time I'm touching the wall, I know the number of strokes I've done.
It's not like us mshambas.
No offense, but yeah.
Kim, when you swim, let me ask you, do you have a rhythm?
There's no rhythm.
I even have a breathing rhythm because it also helps your chest.
No.
So what we can do?
I can't even move an inch.
Let me tell you something about breaststroke. Breaststroke even improves your orgasms.
I was not What?
Yeah, because you have to do a natural Kegel movement. Right? How you kick. Yeah.
Yes, because your legs, right?
Yeah. So you
heard it here first.
Breaststroke
Kegel. Swimming improves your orgasms.
So what I do is I do 50 laps. I do about a kilometer. So every week, and I'm now my next year is I'm going to do twice a week.
Ever when you bust, you must enjoy it.
because we are in a what's this PG environment.
PG
I've got
environment.
children.
We'll skip
People-
over that.
But what I was just informing young
Yeah.
men who do not know. You know, I've seen a lot of guys drinking Jaba juice. Jaba juice has the opposite thing, huh?
What's the right word? The attention Jabba Juice is getting. Why is everyone so into it?
Because it's addictive.
Is it addictive?
Very. It's very addictive.
So it gives you the same steam Mira gives you, or much more.
Yeah. Well, maybe like cocaine too, but like a lower version.
Okay, and is it prohibited to sell below 18, or it's open to sell to everyone?
No, it's below. I think it's illegal below 18. It's a controlled substance.
Jabba Juice.
Yeah. So Jaba juice smoking,
Yeah.
copious amounts of alcohol affect your sexual abilities and performance.
Yeah.
Obesity
Yes.
affects performance. So, as a man, one of the surest ways to an unhappy life is the inability to have sex. Truly, truly, truly. So, as a man, you must always be thinking about how do I ensure that because we are men, testosterone flows. You must, part of your drive comes from being able to have coital relationships.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah. It's a huge driver for men.
Yeah, and even ego boosting, right? You know. So I always, whenever I get a chance to speak to, particularly when I'm in spaces where Jaba is being drunk like juice, I'm like, Chunga.
So that thing affects you. It does affect you.
Seriously.
Okay, I want to try Jabba Juice just because of the fact that I've never tried it.
I mean, I don't taste anything.
Have you ever tried it?
Never.
Kim, have you tried it? Yes, sir. If they sponsor Coffee Pump, then we'll have to drink it.
Good luck.
No.
I don't touch anything that affects my.
So, in fact,
I don't.
Kim, no more Jabba Juice. No Jabba sponsors.
No, then I'm not saying it's legal, right?
But why do I want something that will affect me down there?
That's your choice.
You know, it's like taking.
That's your
it's like
choice.
It's like taking something you know is wrong for you. Actually, that's most of the world's problem. Like why alcohol, porn, this and that. Anyway, cheese. No, cheese. Terrific Tuesday, bro. We can't hate on cheese.
It's bad for you.
Yeah. Do you like Italian food?
Love.
Like pizza in?
Is that Italian food?
Yes.
I'll reserve my comments on Pizza Inn.
Bro, Pizza Inn has the best pizzas.
I think you are high. I think you're crazy.
Where's the best pizza in Kenya?
I don't even think what they serve is a pizza.
It's so nice.
That
thing slaps on a random Wednesday night when you're hungry.
I'm even like, damn.
The barbecue steak with the extra sauce and extra steak and cheese.
Damn.
Sasa pizza yako ni wapi? The Italian
I wish
ones.
my daughter was here. My daughter would insult you.
What does she like?
She'd just tell you, I mean, that is not a pizza pie. That is not a pizza.
Kevo likes Italian based.
Yeah.
You know?
A bit of rocket.
So, okay, but I had a question. If I was to build my own coffee, like for example, do you think that's a good idea as a business to start? For example, the podcast is called Coffee Pump, right? So what we do is we have 250-gram branded Coffee Pump brand. So the Coffee Pump blend. I think the spirit has just walked in. And then if people want to order it on the podcast, it's just advertising B2C. You order and it gets delivered. Not B2B, like business to business. Do you think that's a sustainable business model for a podcast to generate revenue from that? Especially given the nature. I'm a big caffeine addict. So it just falls in naturally. It's not like forcing advertising on the viewers. This is a specific product associated with the podcast.
So if you come for my masterclass,
yes.
Let me say that again. If you come for my masterclass, one of the things I will speak about is problem statement identification.
Problem statement identification.
and why that's important as you develop a product. Because the question you've asked me is this a good idea? Who knows, right? Is there a market for it? Is there a problem you're solving?
Yeah.
Is it that there's a lot of shit coffee in the market? Is it that coffee is not accessible? Is it that your coffee is special? Is it, what are you selling?
So it actually stemmed from someone asking me, why don't you have any branded items? Like, bro, make a branded coffee mug, make a branded coffee mug, we'll buy it just to support the channel. So it came from that. But also, I'm a big fan of coffee, and I know the difference between really shit coffee and really good coffee. And if I could get my blend, specifically the way I like it and roasted it, and basically pass the message of coffee on through the podcast. And then if it turns out into a business, it's a good way to sort of scale the profit margins, right? Because we don't have direct advertisers over here.
So if you came to my masterclass, I'd say I hear you, but then we have to, business is very formulaic.
Yeah.
I've told you this before. It offends my senses how people speak about business in a very cavalier, like, if you do this and you do that, you will make money. No, that's not how you've got to solve a problem. And just for your information, remember, because of my mission, I have a research team. So we've actually identified like low-hanging fruit paths to $1 billion.
Right.
Coffee and tea are one of them. So there's a path to $1 billion on coffee, right?
Do I have to attend the masterclass to get that path?
No, that we don't tell that in the masterclass. Remember, the masterclass is for Gen Z audience 18 to like 35.
Yeah.
It's trying to figure out business like 101 because no one has really ever distilled some key insights for them. So that's what the masterclass is for. If you want to do end-to-end coffee to path to $1 billion, that we have to sit down. I tell you what we've done, the research we've done. We show you sort of boss, I know even how the coffee beans look like, where they're being grown, where the new trees are being grown, where the old trees were cut, the different DNA, what Brazil sells. So, because it's a whole thing, right? So and that's why I'm saying the way you've spoken about it is very cavalier.
Yeah.
Kevin, is this a good idea? We've got to start with the problem.
Yeah.
Understand what you're
The
solving.
problem is not enough people drink coffee. Everyone's fucking taking Jaba juice and Pombe.
That's a good problem to start with.
Yeah.
So then now you ask yourself, why are they drinking Jaba and Pombe, right? When are they drinking it? And how are those two products reaching them that coffee isn't?
Okay, I like this. Let's go on this train of thought. We identify that, okay?
Yeah.
We want to get men, especially on this podcast, to focus on self-preservation, right? Not basically going down the path of the easier road towards the quick wins, the drugs, right? We want to steer them towards making tough decisions, getting in better shape, how to masterclass, how to make more money. And I feel caffeine is a gift that's been given to us. Coffee especially, right? It's an alternative high, if you will. So I'll quote our good friend Eric. Eric moved on from alcohol to double shots of espresso because it gave him sort of that high. But it's a productive high, right? Especially when used in the right cycles. So if we can encourage a lot more people to look at coffee, right, in that positive light, and have this brand be around strength, caffeine, 2 arms.
See, the brand now starts taking shape.
Yes.
Right? That's how brands start taking shape.
Masterclass, by the way, live
right?
example.
So
yeah.
now what your product will be solving for that energy, that
Yes.
energy boost. And now, anytime you speak to the brand, that's what it'll be. It won't be just, we want more profits for the podcast, so we want to do a coffee mug. It changes now.
Changes the dynamics of the
So
conversation,
now you have
the
a
story and the pitch.
It's not just you're solving a problem. Therefore, because you're solving a problem, you then know which questions to ask to get the right product. So now, how do you source the right kind of coffee to get the best energy boost?
Do you have people you know?
Yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised how much research we've. Remember, my mission started in 21. It's just that I wasn't wealthy, as wealthy or as hadn't built so far. So we picked, and the Oye was like the thing
that sort of,
you know, starts the propulsion to this path we are on. But we knew once we get to certain milestones with certain key businesses we've started, we start looking at different lines. And agriculture, because Kenya is an agricultural hub, is was obvious. So I'll tell you an insight. I hate the smallholder farmer narrative.
Why?
Because it's crap. Isn't that? It's all crap. You cannot, in fact, you know why they come to me, these DFIs, we need to finance a smallholder farm. I say, oh, great. You go give a guy with 1 acre a loan, then it doesn't rain.
You're screwed.
No, not screwed. How do you collect from a guy who now can't even feed his family?
Good point, yeah.
Right? Is that the kind of business I'm in?
Yeah, that's
right. Is that the
that's
kind
a bit
of
of gun and
yeah. Okay, let me tell you another one. You go tell a smallholder farmer, don't grow the maize and the beans you normally grow. Grow this thing called something seed. Then you can sell that seed on the global markets, blah, blah, blah. 1 acre. The guy does it. He grows, he's a farmer and figures it out. At the end of the thing, the commodities market have crashed. So this guy is holding seed, castor oil, let's call it castor oil seed, right? Which, by the way, is poisonous, right? And then global markets have dropped. Now he can't even feed his family. Which is the cavalier attitude I have to this business. Right? Farming is a large-scale business, right? So you need minimum 200, 300 acres. Right?
Someone that has the scale and the ability to withstand the turbulence.
No. Second, farming must have risk mitigation strategies.
Okay.
So you must know where your water is come from all around. You shouldn't be waiting for the rain. Anyone who waits for rain, to me, is a joker, right? You must know where you're getting your fertilizer from, both organic and inorganic. You must price it in. You must have offtake agreements in place so that once your crop is ready, somebody comes to buy at a set price, right? And you must mechanize, right? The Netherlands produces more tomatoes than East Africa, probably even in the world. Yet tomatoes grow in tropical climates and not temperate climates. Better in tropical than temperate. So what have they done? It's mechanization. They're growing tomatoes on vertical farms, right? So you have to use AI. You have to use, if I'm using AI in lending, I must be using AI in farming. Right? Farming is probably older than lending. So there's no way it is behind in technology. So that thing called the smallholder farmer support ecosystem, I think...
I like that. I like that perspective.
There's a theory there that's completely misguided and the wrong person got the funding.
Okay. Thank you for that. Back to sort of the CoffeePump product. The other avenue I wanted to sort of look at doing the coffee beans was adding in nootropics to it. So recently I discovered this new tonic product which helps caffeine-free, which helps mental clarity. So what happens is if you have a focus session, if you have an exam, if you have work that you need to do, I started having these packets and it really kept me locked in. And
Is it legal?
It's legal. It's FDA approved, everything tested. It's like a supplement. It's as legal as you would find creatine or whey protein. So nootropics are a branch of supplementation that help cognitive functions. What if I were to combine a coffee blend, a CoffeePump coffee blend, and add this supplementation on top?
Does it speak to the strategy of solving the problem?
In a way, yes.
So, what's the answer?
Yes.
Yeah. You don't need me to tell you the answer. You need the way you think to tell you the answer. It's a system of
But
thinking.
you'll buy a packet, yeah? Nikki
Of
launch.
course, and more than, right? If you show me a path to $1 billion, I probably will invest.
Okay. A few pitch decks coming in. And then we'll be like, to hell with the podcast. let Kim interview the guest. But no, I think the podcast helps because, A, it connected me with you, right? It gave me ideas through the medium of the guests. It's given me social capital. Not financially, that's irrelevant, but I think as a billboard, if all of us are billboards on this global highway, it definitely increases the size of the billboard you are. And then can help funnel products, can help funnel thought processes, can help funnel business ventures. So I think we'll keep it.
So when Eric was starting his podcast, I went through this similar
Same.
mental exercise with him.
Yeah.
What problem are you solving? Right? I mean, how many people are sitting behind a mic
Correct.
and giving their opinions, right? Thousands, even if not millions,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
How do you differentiate? So you've got to be solving a problem. That's why Eric's podcast is very, if you think about it, it's quite distilled. It's a human interest. Watch it as you're doing something. Yeah. So it's easy listen. But sort of influencing your thinking on specific
topics,
ideas and topics.
Yeah.
Or questioning rather than shaping. Questioning conventional wisdom.
I agree.
And that's what he was solving for. And that's why the first set of guests were, designed that way. And that's why as it evolves, you can see that thinking
has gone
in the thread. So the thinking, it's so important.
I like this. This has been like a masterclass in person, you guiding us through it. So
that's why I'm doing the 12 City Masterclass. Completely aligned with my vision.
I like that.
Modern Place in Africa 2050.
Sound.
Number 5, build big businesses. So I'm not the only one I need all of us to build big businesses if we're going to achieve that mission. I just want to play my role.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that. I want to now bring it back home to Oye. We're good for time? Okay. I wanted to ask you about Oye, how things are going there, and also how are you finding the business environment here in Kenya right now?
Yo, man. Oye is, as I said in the podcast last time, is the journey of my life. It's shaping me in so many ways. So we recently closed a partner. Again, we can't announce it.
Was it it's a different partner.
Yeah, now this one remember the first partner was an insurance partner, Britam.
Yeah.
The second partner was Solving Distribution. So now we are launching 260 locations to acquire 2.5 million customers. Right? So I'm about to get into a very, very busy period. But guess what? If you remember, on the Founders Battlefield podcast, I said I want to have 100,000 jobs a month. With this new partnership, we're now creating 1,000 jobs. So within 4 years of starting Oye, we are creating 1,000 jobs. So again, to my mission, right? That's my key sort of path.
Yeah.
Right? Building big businesses, creating value for society, and the biggest value you can create is jobs.
Yes.
So so this new partnership creates 1,000 jobs, gives access to 2.5 insurance to 2.5 million customers, gives access to financial credit for things like fuel and working capital for 2.5 million bodas. And of course, the idea is we want to list it by 2028. So this partnership has come in a perfect time because now by 2028, we can start talking about getting on the stock exchange. And then now we actually start sharing that value we are creating with a wider ecosystem.
Yeah.
And my thing is I want the boda guys to be the first guys to sort of have the opportunity so that if the share price moves from 2 bob to 20 bob, the boda who built Oye also.
That's amazing. That's nice.
That's the way.
That's the way you think.
Yeah.
It's not just the top, but it's top, middle, and bottom. You're looking at all instances in which everyone benefits.
But remember, I too become very wealthy.
That means we too become wealthy
Yeah.
by association.
Yeah. Well, yes.
Kevo, niaje? See you since like 10 mic over here. We go shopping.
No, that's not how I will.
20 savil raw.
More, it's like, hey, Kevo, now that you have more liquidity, Coffee Pump wants to go to London,
Yes.
right? Can we do a show in London? I say, yeah, let's go.
So you see, he is the elder brother thinking for Eric and I. So while Eric and I are just jerking off and doing these things over here, Eric, Kevo will be like, guys, this is the road framework. This is the way we want to do things.
You just complained. Didn't he just complain that 200,000 views gives him $300?
Yes.
So what is his solution? Either he gets a new audience abroad, right? So if I have liquidity and my brothers want to get that additional audience, let's go do it, man. Let's go do it.
Sometimes it just tells someone telling you the obvious truth for you to see it. You know, it's like because you're in your own echo chamber sometimes. It just takes someone telling you what you already thought, but coming from that third party perspective. But it's true, we need an international audience. So we're trying to do a lot more international calls. The problem is, though, well, it's changed, but when our viewers were much less and our Instagram handles were much less, which is why I've been telling Eric, pump reels on Instagram, because that's the way you access these guys. And then they see you have 10,000 followers, and then they'll be all of a sudden, okay, seems like he's built an audience. That's the first way. I'm trying to get...
Again, what problem are you solving? Right? So
I won't have a problem.
So your international audience should listen to you and say, interesting.
Right.
I want to watch more of that. That made me laugh. Because then they say, and then you want that, let's say Taylor Swift to then see you and then share it with her fans.
Yeah.
Then you want, that's we
have to think about what USP we're offering.
Yeah. It's always about your business, and that's why I'm saying this masterclass is so important.
This episode will be titled The Masterclass by Kevin Mutiso.
Yeah.
The thumbnail. Yeah. Because this is a master. I'm learning stuff.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. The idea here is not to lecture, it's to unlock insight. So you are pure talent, Sajid. Pure talent. You set up this thing, you've built a following, but now you want to unlock value. You've understood. If I do 200,000 in Kenya, I get $200. But if I do 200,000 in the US, I get 2,000 euro. So there's now you know.
Oh, I know.
Right? So now what does that US audience also want that you can provide from here that they're not getting there? From here. Right? And this is now going back to the question about the Kenyan economy. Everyone whines. In fact, I'm so disappointed in Kenyan sometimes because it's Kasongo this, Uhuru that. And I'm like, Kasongo has 1 million employees, man. 1 million. Do you know the civil service has 1 million employees?
1 million. Huh?
1 million employees. How many employees does your business have?
1.5.
No, forget this one. The one, the
other one, I call about 75.
75.
Yeah.
Right? If one guy messes up, it's the CEO's fault, right? But does the CEO know how this guy is messing up when the guy is messing up? I imagine 1 million guys.
1 million people.
Okay. So I'm not defending Kasongo because I don't like politics. So I just want to put out there. But if you look at the macros of the economy, right? Macros. There are key indicators telling you that things are not great, but are moving in the right direction. Right? So, you have two options as a Kenyan. You continue waiting for serikali tusaidia. Oh, serikali, najua serikali ingefanya hivi, ama ingefanya hivyo, ama ingefanya hivi. Or you wake up, you look what's around you, right? In my master class, I talk about capital, right? And you start doing. Just start doing. Solve a problem. If you have access to a light, a camera, and a computer. Your customer is not 55 million Kenyans or 7 million Nairobians or 200,000 guys in Westlands. No, like the shop down the street. Your customer is 7 billion humans who are also accessing the internet. Right? I'll give you a good example. The
It's solid stuff, eh?
The advertising industry is like, oh my God, and I'm listening to these guys and I'm like, but didn't you see Google coming? Right? Did you see Meta coming?
Yeah.
When you saw Meta launching offices in 2019, you thought they came here to talk to government. They came here to sell, goddammit. So that advertising revenue that used to go to WPP and Ogilvy and Nani is now just being put on a credit card, being swiped on a Meta ad, right? And in fact, they're so good now that I don't need a Safaricom budget to advertise. There was a time to advertise. I don't know if you guys, maybe you guys didn't do business in those days, but there was a time when you're doing business to get a billboard, it cost 300K. Right? To get a TV slot on Citizen at 9 was $1.5 million.
What?
Yeah. To get a radio spot on a week was 700,000. Yeah. Oh yeah. Now with 2,000 shillings, I go to TikTok, I click promote,
and you've got more
I have
eyeballs.
1,000 people who suddenly see the product or the story or the. So, Serikali said, you go continue waiting. There is a guy like me who doesn't give two shits. Me, I'm moving to Kutane Mbele. And that's what I wanted to say.
I love that. It's rather than complaining.
Serikali, Kenyans, Kasongo's economy, the advertising. The other day I was with the insurance people. Now the banks have taken all our business. Yeah, you guys have products. Right, so there was a legal change. So basically now banks are forcing. So if you buy a car with a loan, they're forcing you to buy insurance with them. If you're banking with them, they give you even if they have an insurance business, they'll even give you the medical insurance. So they're bundling. They're doing this beautiful thing called bundling. So the other day, the insurance guys called me to give a talk to the broker ecosystem. They start, these guys. You need to do something. You need to tell the banks they can't touch our customers. It's like, have you ever had such a lazy guy in your life? This guy was just bangaizing. He used to pay some guy a bribe in procurement. Then you'd get the whole deal. Then one day the bank said, kama munachukua loan kutoka sisi, from now on, you're taking all the insurance from us as a condition, and I'll reduce your loan price. Oh my God. Boss, you are sleeping. The world has moved. In fact, and I want you remember this, guys, 2025 is the middle of a wave. The wave had already begun. Yeah, the wave had already begun. So those of us who started, Sajid, Kevin, Eric, who had started running in this new world, at least we are not on the wrong side of the wave, right? The wave won't finish us. As we're surfing on it, right? There are guys who this thing is going to finish, and they're going to just say the government. It's not the government. It's you. You're lazy. You are not innovating fast enough. You're not taking advice. You're not educating. You're not investing in yourself. And more. And then if you're young, you're hustling, you've just come out of the university or come out of high school, yeah, you're right? It's a shit situation. You're not in New York, you're not in London. But guess what? London right now is worse than Kenya. If you are a university mid-tier guy or girl, you're not getting your job. You're staying home with mom and dad in that little apartment, right? At least here, you go back to shags, you have a goat, a chicken, you have some sun, right? In London, I'm telling you, Google it. I'm not telling stories. The world has shifted. It's not just Kenya being affected, right? That's why the London Stock Exchange is one of the shittiest stock exchanges today. The biggest companies are companies that were big in colonial times. In the US, the US Stock Exchange, the NASDAQ, the biggest company is the guy making AI chips. It's a mindset.
So if we look at Kenya in sort of this new world order, how do you think we're pivoting? Do you think we're headed towards a place where Kenya will be a recognizable force?
So I want to answer this question very apolitically. So let's remove the politics.
Yeah.
Remove. Throw it away. Boss, have you just driven in Nairobi and seen how many Muzungus are in town?
Quite a lot, eh?
Why?
I heard the UN base has moved here.
Why?
Because of cost of living in America, and so it's cheaper.
We've got
here.
the best weather.
Excellent weather.
I can earn $5,000. By the way, Google the rent price of a 2-bedroom in Manhattan. I can add $5,000, have a mate, a driver,
Askari,
a
cook,
right? A cook, yeah,
have
10
a garden.
babes, and have a girlfriend and a wife,
Yes.
and at least maybe not a kid. Kids are expensive in Kenya, but just without kids,
Yeah.
I'm living like a legend, right? So, if I'm in the UK and my father is a millionaire or a billionaire, and Mzee has told me, go and conquer the world, do you know I go first? Come to Nairobi.
Yeah.
And Nairobi is one of 10 cities like it, right? So there are about 10 cities in the world that have this thing that's magical, that's magic, there's a magic happening, right?
Which other cities would you compare to Nairobi?
Abidjan.
Abidjan is Ivory Coast.
Yeah.
That place is run down, bro.
It's run down according to you, or the world. You remember that thing I'm saying? The world is shifting.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Another place
Don't say Nigeria.
No, I was not going to say
Nigerians hate CoffeePump in your way.
No. I don't. First, I have no. Nigeria has a different set of problems. By then, and it's not just in Africa. The Philippines, right? Hanoi, Ho Chi Minh.
Yeah.
Not Vietnam, sorry. Hanoi, Ho Chi Minh in Vietnam. The Philippines, Thriller in Manila.
Yeah.
I was in Manila last year. Ooh, man.
Nice place.
Oh, man. I could smell, there's money. It was, you could see it's happening, right? Go to Southeast Asia, Singapore. Go to places like Australia is now becoming too expensive, but Then you come to this side of South America. There are things happening in Ecuador. There are things happening in Argentina is this one of those places that does this thing. Yeah. But, there are things happening
there
in Brazil, right? That you don't necessarily have to be in London, New York, LA, San Francisco, Milan, Paris, Beijing. There's this like other tier of cities that give you the same quality of life or near quality of life, give you modicum of opportunity that you can take advantage of. And if you're Nairobian, you're even at an added advantage, right? Because Nairobi is one of those places that's getting that kind of hype.
So a lot of investment is coming through here. In fact, you're quite right. Recently, we were just at the shopping mall, and this was in Karen. 90% of the people, granted it's Karen, were foreigners, like people speaking. I think there were a few Romanians. There was just like a whole mix of cultures.
Like if I was Polish or Latvian or Lithuanian.
Yeah.
Ain't no way I'm going to London today.
Yeah.
I'm white. I'm blonde. I'm blue-eyed. I fly to Nairobi where everyone treats me like a king.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I even start spitting on your cops.
Did you guys see that video?
Yeah. But you see what I mean, right? So if you're Serekal side...
Was that guy mentally...
I don't know, discuss that.
Wow.
If you're Serekal side here, you'll stay in languishing. If you're a girl who does stuff,
you'll excel.
Mambo itaanza kwenda shwari.
Yeah.
You'll even be shocked. And take away the politics. Kasongo doesn't know you.
Can we talk about politics, kidogo?
I mean, yeah.
I want to ask you about Baba,
The late.
the late Baba. Have you ever met the guy? Did you ever meet
I
him?
met him twice, but for a very short period, and I was part of a larger group, so I didn't have a one-on-one.
One-on-one.
The first time, my mentor, Mr. We call him the chairman, or Francis Okomo Okelo, who was the chair of Barclays, and then ABSA, and then TPS Serena, DTC. I'm showing off a little bit who my mentors are. Got me a ticket to a program in Ethiopia called it was called Africa 2.0.
Okay.
And the idea of Africa 2.0 was putting young, not just young, motivated Africans in a room to listen to mentors. And one of those people was Raila, Baba, and Obasanjo.
Okay.
Yeah, 2012 or 2014. I always because 2011, 2012, between 2011 and 2014, right?
The guy had a lot of aura. I was watching some previous videos of him, but whatever room he walked in, everyone was straight up locked on him. He just had the energy about him.
Yeah.
Did you feel that when you met him even briefly?
So I have and that's why I like, this conversation is open and honest.
Yeah.
And I don't want to blame my parents, because I know my dad doesn't, my mom and dad don't really speak about politics too much, but we live in a family, right? And so during the various elections, I was already an adult by 2007.
Yeah.
Right? 2013, 2017. So I remember in 2007 and 2002, for 2007 specifically, there was just this boogeyman narrative, because we are more Kikuyu, Kamba, less Luo. I married a Luo now, but growing up, that was the ecosystem I was in. So there was this boogeyman. This guy does this. This guy goes to which boogeyman. This will happen if he becomes president. Don't trust this guy. He's a bad guy. Then I became an adult, 2013. No, you forget even 2013, 2010.
Yeah.
For me, I'll never forget promulgation of the new constitution. I felt like it was a new birth of Kenya. And I knew the journey was not going to be easy, but we had laid one of probably the most solid foundation in the world, not just in Africa, but in the world, because it guaranteed 3 fundamental rights: freedom of expression, freedom of religion, and my favorite one, freedom of enterprise. Right? So now I could pray to whoever I wanted, I could say whatever I wanted, and I could start a business. Right?
Yeah.
For me, and just so you know, there are places in the world starting a business is not even an option.
Yeah, that's true. Come to think about it, yeah.
You can't start a business, right? So those 3 fundamental rights enshrined in the Constitution, he did a lot of that work. And I think it was that time I started then saying, this thing in Africa 2.0, listening to him and Obasanjo speak, I was like, I've been lied to. So by 2022, I was now completely on the other side. What happened in 2022 is the current president at the time seemed to be against digital lending, and I'd just become chairman a year before.
Okay.
And I was struggling getting audience with key people so that I could make a case so that they stopped doing what they were doing, because they kept hammering us.
What were they were putting roadblocks, taxes,
policies. They would pass policies without engaging the industry. In fact, in 2020, the Uhuru Kenyatta and Dr. Patrick Njoroge passed a policy declaration in COVID that killed all local lenders. All. The
What-
man.
So what did they pass?
They essentially said that reporting to the bureau is illegal for non-licensed lenders. They said it on a national address. That meant everyone was listening. That meant anyone who listened to that stopped paying. And you know our systems are live. Huh? You could see transactions drop in real time. They held that policy decision for a year and a half. We didn't have the liquidity the big guys have
To sustain.
so we died. And that's how my last business died, right? And many other locals. In fact, one of us even died, like passed away. So Baba, somebody then asked me, have you spoken to Baba's people? I said, well, Baba listen to me. They said, the guy told me, boss, if there's a guy who will listen to you, it is Baba. So 2021, I get a hookup. Second time, again, just meet him. They explain he delegates somebody. That somebody then meets me later on. I walk them through this thing for an hour. And the way I describe it is imagine you're trying to get into a house, right? Or rather, you're in a corridor with many doors. And then you're trying each door, you're trying to open each door. None is opening. Then you have this one coffee with somebody, and suddenly a door just pops open, pop, and you're told, come. That's how Baba
Operate.
helped us. So I also then built that like very like this guy gave, because I felt the Uhurus of the time were not listening to young voices because they had taken these positions that were hard and firm, and we were genuinely trying to do good things. It is just that there were also bad actors, right? But Baba gave us that one chance, right? And that's how the association which I chair became the association for the industry.
What's the association called?
It's called the Digital Financial Services Association of Kenya.
Correct.
We lend, by this going to blow your mind, 300 million shillings a day, right? 68.4% of bodas on the road is us.
Wow.
300,000 smartphones a month for the last 12 months is us. My membership.
That's insane, bro.
That's insane. Imagine Uhuru's guys refused to listen to us. We would write letters to the minister, would write letters to governors, the central bank. Middle finger.
Were they blocking you in order to benefit themselves from businesses that existed?
Who knows? Man, I'm a young guy.
Yeah.
Right? That was 34. I've just been made chairman. I'm trying to make this thing work. Right? I have the responsibility of these large international investors. They believe in me. So I'm trying everything. Right? I'm talking, I'm calling, I'm driving, I'm sitting in offices for hours. Right? No one was giving us a chance, man. No one. And remember, at the same time, my business is dead, right? So I'm also broke, right? So I'll never forget. And the one guy who gave me a chance was Baba. He just suddenly pop, and I kid you not, the door opened. Suddenly I'm in parliament presenting.
Really?
Then I'm at government. Yeah. Then central bank presenting. Then we are treasury presenting.
How was it like dealing with the central bank guys?
Central bank is probably the most professional, rule-abiding institution we have in Kenya. Their boardroom, oh my God.
Oh my God.
They have a boardroom, the governor's boardroom. Oh man, it's when you enter, you just
Yeah.
This is where bosses live.
You're stepping on carpet. You're floating on the carpet.
Yeah,
It's
like
that soft.
this is where bosses live. And then the way you negotiate in the board, the governor's boardroom is he sits in the middle of the table, not at the end, and right behind him is a door. Right, so everyone walks in, sits on both sides.
Yeah.
from the main door.
Oh, okay.
Right? So everyone walks in, sets up, including you. So you set, so now I'm chair, so my team sits on my left and my right. And then across me is the governor, and then him and these guys on the left. And then the governor walks in. Now he's told, so if the meeting is 9, you're supposed to be sat by 8:45. At 9 sharp, he walks in. Oh, man, I'm telling you, professionally run. Right? Professionally run. Today, we're doing, there's a new regulation change. Communication is clear. Ideas are crystal. Weakness is that there's still government. So we're in 2025 in terms of tech, speed, and other sort of like technological advances. They're always like in 2015, right? And the proof of the pudding is, and I always tell Kenyans this: think of the last 20 years. Where have the big businesses come from?
In Kenya?
Yeah.
So if I think of in the last how many years?
20.
Safaricom is one of them.
Yeah. What blew up Safaricom?
M-Pesa, mobile money,
Who approved Safaricom?
money lending.
Who approved M-Pesa?
CBK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And gave them very, very progressive guidelines to enable them to scale. Continue.
Which are the companies at that scale?
Equity Bank.
Equitel, Equity Bank,
Yeah.
yes. KCB,
KCB. INM.
INM, yes.
Those are all banks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why?
Lending,
No, professionally managed and run.
okay.
Right? There's no bribing. There's no partisanship. The way the law is written, the governor can tell the president no. People don't know that. Right? So the governor is called, but governor says no, sir, and hangs up. And the president can't fire the governor. So it's I'm telling you, the smartest guys work at the CBK. You're top of your class in econ. It's JKI, JKWAT, UON. You get a first class ticket to the Central Bank of Kenya.
I'd love to visit the CBK offices. I've dealt with them indirectly whenever a bank or financial institution wants to co-locate, which means to put their servers in a data center. It has to go through CBK approval.
Yeah, you're a third party, and the law is very clear on how we deal with third parties.
And they've been very professional to deal with. No Pango Wakando discussions, none of that shit. And one thing is I'd love to see the data center they run, because that must be insane how big it is. Also, at the CBK offices, do we have like a gold vault or something, like a treasury?
What I do know is one time, the governor of the central bank, Dr. Patrick Njoroge.
Are we good for time?
Yeah, I have 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Dr. Patrick Njoroge, he was unhappy with us. He never liked us. So when Baba did his thing, of course, he wanted to flex. And so he made it very clear that there's a jail cell inside the building. And if we misbehave, he has the authority to throw us in there. Imagine that. Imagine a young guy sitting opposite the governor, man.
And you're being told that.
And that's the opening
line.
It's very it was. I'll never forget that time.
But how long from you being told you can't do this to getting that reappealed? What was that time frame? Because you were 34 when you started the business, right?
No. The association is not a business.
No, not so for the lending, to get that overruled by what Uhuru and them did.
We couldn't get it overruled. So what we did is we started a new business, Oye.
Yes.
Right? And then essentially got to licensing. So that now, because the law now said if you're unlicensed,
you can't.
Yeah. So now we are all we're licensing. So now we now have to get a license from the CBK, and that forced us to.
So if today I am to start a lending services, I would have to go through CBK to get that license approved.
Yes.
Is it a difficult process?
It is a long process because there are more lenders than the central bank anticipated. So you're in a queue.
And do these companies that offer short loans, they all fall under the same docket, right?
Yeah, we're called digital credit providers.
Digital credit providers. Okay. Interesting. By the way, I'm learning new things every day. Eh? There's a whole other segment. Yeah.
Is Oya and Oye related?
No, not at all. So Oye is a boda platform,
Which is yours.
which is what I've been building, and
Yes.
not mine. I have
Shareholders,
shareholders,
yes,
and
yes,
I'm
yes.
the CEO and co-founder. And then Oya is an unlicensed lender. Yeah, that needs to be dealt with.
Yeah. Okay. I've heard about those, but here is Oye, and again we'll link everything Kevin deals with in the description. Sasa Kaka, we've talked about a wide array of things. Now, as we wind down, I just want to ask you about AI. I had Ben Roberts here, who was the former CEO and CTO of Liquid Telecom, and we were talking about this AI bubble. Now, there's a huge push for AI, and we've seen the benefits, right? But in Kenya, do you think that adoption has, and in relation to the bubble as well, but do you think that adoption is still a bit slow? Do you think there's still a bit of time before we see all businesses fully utilize it to that scale as Western economies?
I hope they're seeing I'm smiling because AI is the most fundamental technological shift since the internet. So that's number one.
Number one.
And I want to give you another contextual one. AI is even more fundamental as a shift than electricity. Can you imagine a world where there was no electricity? 120 years ago, maybe 130, JP Morgan funded Thomas Edison to put bulbs in his New York house. Right?
Yeah.
And that's the first time people saw a house with electricity. 130 years ago. Right? Fast forward to a few years later, you get Alexander. Is it Alexander Bell?
The
guy who invented the phone.
Alexander Bell. Kim, just check Alexander Bell.
Yeah.
If he's the guy that invented the phone.
Funded by JP Morgan. Right? And there's a reason I'm telling the story this way. Fast forward, you get a guy called Mr. Ford, and he replaces horses. People don't realize the car didn't replace another car.
Car replaced horses.
The car replaced horses. Right? Those were fundamental shifts in humanity. His name is Alexander Bell. The guy invented the telephone. The guy who invented the word hi. Fast forward, yeah, to the internet, because there's many things have jumped.
Yeah.
Right? Batteries have jumped, but let's just get to the internet. Internet does this thing where now it flattens the landscape. In London, I used to get information faster than the guy in Nairobi. It didn't matter who I was. It didn't matter if I was the richest guy.
Yeah.
Right? Unless I had a military grade communications equipment, ecosystem.
Yeah.
Which is super expensive. I was a couple of hours and probably days behind London, New York, Internet, now we are seconds.
Yeah.
Fundamental shift.
We're all aligned. Everyone knows, everyone has the same communication and access.
AI is more powerful than all those. Right? So just let's get that right. That's number one. Number two, we are on day one. Me, I'm very fortunate because I've been on day one M-Pesa. I've been day one digital lending. I've been day one CRB. So I have a little bit of experience on seeing how adoption in real time, not theoretical, real time, how technology is adopted. The African, and I was going to say male, but let me say the African, and particularly the Kenyan, is probably the most, what's the word? Probably the most, what's the word that describes somebody who can take nothing from and make it something? Like they're very agile. They figure things out. So this is my prediction. The reason you think it's slow adoption is because you've got incumbents. Incumbents are sitting and waiting. Hii kitu itaenda aje? How will this thing go?
Yeah.
Ingenious. Ingenious is the word. Probably Kenyans are the most ingenious and ingenious people. The guy today, there's a business that's doing 10 billion shillings. In 10 years, it'll be doing 0 shillings. It'll be a guy who uses AI.
Who's automated that entire process.
Not just automated, more than.
AI has taken over the entire
More than.
A to Z.
More than. Right? Because that guy will be building ops from AI first. Right? Do I need this employee? Do I need that sensor? Do I need this system? This other incumbent is thinking, how many employees do I need next year? Right? They have no understanding of building technology. They have no understanding on building channels. They have no understanding on resourcing for technology. It's an expense. It's too expensive. It's too expensive. The guy who's able to, or girl who's able to balance that wins. So to answer your question, is there a bubble? There's always bubbles in these moments.
I think bubbles from people investing in NVIDIA and all these, the main AI companies.
No, even bigger.
Yeah.
There's always bubbles when these changes happen. So did you know there were 230 car companies when Ford started his car company? And you can
230.
even probably 1,000, right? You can fact check me. Jeff Bezos speaks about it all the time. How many car companies are there today? Yeah. How many internet companies were there in the late 90s? One selling diapers, another one selling books, another one, right?
Correct. Yeah, we were talking about that.
But there's always winners, right? So
the internet, actually, people were selling all sorts of odd
yeah,
things.
guys, those diapers.com, there was laptops.com, there was, any kind of thing that could be sold on the internet was there's somebody attempting to sell it and there's somebody funding, right? But there were winners. There were guys like me and you who have been in the game for a little bit longer, so understand certain nuances. So Sergey Brin and his partner of Google, Larry Page, right? If you've heard the story, they were trying to figure out how to index the internet, right? Because the way we were indexing the internet made no sense. It was a real problem. And then they figured something out.
Yeah.
So I bet you if they went to Warren Buffett and said this thing is da 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 da, and Warren says it. He says, I'd have told them, get the hell out of my office. But those who understood put real money, the right money behind it. Those who met Jeff Bezos speaks about talking to 50 investors before
and
anyone.
they all turned him down.
They all turned him down. Imagine, ex-McKinsey, this guy who's understood how to build things, umekataa yeye. You know how strange that is? So that's what's going to happen. So you're going to have all these flashes in the pan. You're going to have all these different ideas. What you need to look for and understand is who understands the fundamentals and who is getting the right backing. Because backing isn't just also the product. It's the OGs who've been sitting behind these different trends over the years who now understand it in a very deep way, like a Ben Roberts.
Yeah.
Right? Who do they think will win?
Kevo, you've given us a lot to think about, Wana.
Masterclass.
Unaandika, will you ever write a book? Do you ever think you'll write a book?
The masterclass is so the end of the masterclass, I'm going to release a book.
So this podcast, again, we'll title the thumbnail, The Masterclass.
Yeah. And the book will be, I won't say the name of the book because I'm not sort of registered it yet. But essentially, I'm making a case for young Africans to build a specific type of business, to not just build wealth for themselves, because they have to also build wealth for themselves, but to positively impact society in a sustainable way. And I'll make it fun. It'll be good data, and it'll not be a thick book, book like this. So it'll be global.
For those that want to attend your masterclasses in Kenya, Nairobi, are there any happening between now and next year?
No, we've finished the training. So now we're tightening the product. And our first masterclass is actually in Cape Town, not in Nairobi.
When is that?
In February, I think February 5th or 7th.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, so we're starting to market next week.
I'm really happy for you, bro.
Thank you.
More wins. I've given you the self-proclaimed title of my elder brother.
Thank you.
So I appreciate the guidance and all the insights you've brought into. Maybe you could just shout out some of the... We'll put everything in the description, but any parting words for the audience as we close down?
Yeah. I think the first thing is believe in yourself. Sounds cliche, and I like saying that word, sounds cliche. But if you don't believe in yourself, no one will. Number 2, invest in yourself. So learn, right? Learn. I keep telling people, the first time I did public speaking, I curtsied like a girl. I was so nervous. Instead of bowing, I curtsied. You know what curtsy is?
The one where mama's bent like that?
Because the person who spoke before me curtsied. So I was so nervous. I was like, I just want this thing to end. I just want this thing to end. So I was sweating, right? I was sweating. The sweat had already doing the blotches. Then I'm like, this thing has to end. And then I curtsied. Man, everyone laughed. Today, talking to... the biggest crowd I've done is 3,000 in Singapore.
I've seen your videos on Instagram, and we'll link Kevo's Instagram as well. Very confident in public speaking, very poised.
Yeah.
You take your time.
Yeah. I went for training. I went to learn how to speak in public.
Is it like Toastmasters? Where do you go for that?
No, so for me, it was fortunate. I got into an accelerator program.
Yeah.
And part of it was media training and public speaking.
For 4 months. Company does that?
It was Singaporean.
Fucking lucky guy.
Singaporeans, by they have really invested in me. I have a lot of love for that country. They invested $25,000 in me.
That's amazing.
Without me asking for anything.
And how did that come to be? Was that your exposure through?
I just applied for some program and I made a case as to what I'm trying to do, and they're like, "You're young, black." And then I was young. I was like 29. I was not even. It's like 10 years ago.
Bro, offline, you let me know about that program. Yeah? We'll get them to invest in me.
Yeah.
Obviously, with inflation, it'll be $100,000 now.
Let me even make it wilder. It was the Central Bank of Singapore, Monetary Authority of Singapore, that invested in me. My own central bank, I had to go see Baba.
And on that parting shot, guys, this has been Coffee Pump. We'll catch you in the next episode. Kevo, thank you so much, bro.
You're welcome, man.
We'll see you. We'll definitely... You're a regular now, Cindy.
Yeah. You can come back after I've come from Cape Town and maybe Jaba.
Hakuna shida. Guys, cheers. We'll catch you in the next one.